After you have an understanding of what functions you're accountable for, long-term, you will want to look at all the processes for each functional area under your umbrella to determine how those processes are actually working. Right away, begin by looking at the processes that you feel may be suspect based upon the feedback from your interviews. Prioritize and focus your attention on the elephants. Big things first. If your company is hemorrhaging money or losing productivity, these should be first on your fix-it list. Something that is significantly impacting the company should be dealt with and communicated about in an urgent fashion. The concerns business units and leadership have with IT always distill down to lack of communication, lack in response, lack of process, and poor availability or usability of tools to perform their function. Investigate those suspect processes or gaps identified in the interviews first. Look at the existing policies associated with the suspect processes and review the documented process itself, if those articles exist. If those articles don't exist, it will immediately tell you something about the state of your department. Documentation is important, and you should mentor your team on documenting process. Too much documentation will slow your team and the work to a crawl, and too little will spell future issues in the maintenance of your solutions and processes. You're looking for the sweet spot in the amount, type, and detail of documentation you have your team create. After you have reviewed those suspect policies and processes, speak to the people doing the work to see how their actual process aligns with the documented process and policy. Don't forget to look at any associated scripts and queries that are providing automation for those suspect processes. You will certainly find variation from the written policy. However, the variation may be sensible and practical, and much of the variation will be people doing what they were taught by the previous person performing the role. You will need to look at each of these disparities and sort them out, putting together the best process for your business and for the ease of your team in performing the work. Your overall goal is to define repeatable processes that can be easily followed and are followed. Repeatable processes that are followed lead to fewer mistakes and less time lost in people reinventing wheels. You will want to communicate your processes and train to your processes, removing as much deviation as you can. Easy to follow processes that are followed will turn your department from one of chaos to one of control. So get smart. Good process development comes from thinking about simplicity, elegance, and ease of repetition in the design. IT process by nature can be complex, and you want to the best of your ability to simplify process and make it easily repeatable. Your processes will also help you achieve control of your environment by giving voice to the things that should be important to you as a CITO. Like having highly available systems and services and having a help desk that helps people, and a request intake process that doesn't turn your IT department into a black hole, where requests go in but responses and solutions don't come out. An example of my voicing what's important to me would be creation of an uptime policy and defining what the production systems are and production's maintenance and uptime schedule. Yes, a good IT department should already have this kind of documentation and policy. And if so, great. Upon entering a new organization, I will immediately look for any policy that identifies production systems and establishes parameters for high availability. If none exists, it's the first policy and corresponding procedures that I'll write with the team.